Steve Hilton has joined us in New York. I've not persuaded him to leave California full-time, but we got him in New York for at least a day. Steve, welcome to the show in New York.
It's fantastic to be here with you, and a very special day,
yes,
Stuart.
It is a very special.
I was watching some of the coverage earlier, and it just brought tears to my eyes. I remember, experiencing all that from a long way away in England, and to be here in New York on this day is quite something.
Can you tell me what is the end game here for President? Is the end game President Harris?
Well, I think there's one person who thinks that, and that is Kamala Harris.
That's true.
I think there are very few others, including most Democrats. I think, again, particularly on this day, to see what we've just seen, on a day when we think about America's role and reputation in the world, what America means to the world, and that is what we're putting out there. It is absolutely pitiful.
I get this. I get the sense that it's building and building and building within the Democrat Party. It's not a public discussion. It's a very private discussion, and they're passionate about it. They really need to make a change here.
They do, but they can't bring themselves to do it. And there's one roadblock in the way of that. That is Biden himself. He is not listening to any of this chatter that he would go out gracefully, be the hero, although many of us would dispute what heroics he could be praised for. He's not interested in that because this is the point, Stuart. Do not underestimate Joe Biden's vanity and narcissism. He has been plotting and scheming to get to the Oval Office since his 20s, for 50 years. He's been desperate to get this job, not to do anything with it, just to be the president. He's not just going to give that up, even though it's obvious to everyone that he should. And that's why, in the end, they can't force him out. That much as they may want him to realise the reality, he needs to agree to that. In terms of Kamala Harris, the thing that's most interesting there in the terms of the dynamic is that there are plenty of other candidates who want the job. Gavin Newsom, you saw him out this weekend. He's actually playing it, I think, pretty cleverly. He knows that if he moves against either Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, the party won't love him for it. He's positioning himself. He's saying, here I am. I'm ready if you need me.
Steve, I want you to listen to what the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, what he says about a potential Trump re-election. Watch this. Roll it.
I hope we don't have to experience that. But I worry about democracy. I worry about the fetishness for autocracy that we're seeing, not just from Trump, but around the world, and notably across this country. I've made the point about DeSantis that I think he's functionally authoritarian. I'm worried more in many respects about Trumpism, what transcends well beyond his term and time and tenure. I think the vengeance in Donald Trump's heart right now is more of a threat.
It's like a fetishness for autocracy.
Autocracy. Well, he says that you can look around the world, you can look around the country. He doesn't have to look very far. He only has to look in his own state. This weekend, an astonishing story on the front page of the New York Times about the autocracy going on inside the University of California system. It is such a great representation of where the left is these days. They have turned into thought policing. You only get hired in the University of California system, once regarded as the greatest in the world, if you sign up to propaganda and groupthink of the far left. You can't be hired, you can't be promoted. If you want to look at autocracy and authoritarianism, it's right there in California.
I can see we're firing you up, Steve. You better stay for the hour, OK? So it can
Always a pleasure.
fully explode for the next 60 minutes. OK, stay there, please.